explain the 6 steps of the clearinghouse as regard to needing a SAP. Step one. Step one is when you're looking for a SAP, find a SAP. There are certain directories that you can use to look for a SAP, as well as searching on your Google search. There are certain directories. Step two is when you go into the clearinghouse. You have to make sure you're registered in the clearinghouse with a name and email with your demographics information. Step two is when you go into the clearinghouse and you put in which SAP you want to work with. There's going to be a box that says View RTD Process Details. You click on that box. Once you click on that box, it's going to say, who is your SAP? For instance, I am a SAP in Mississippi. You will put, for instance, if you decide to work with me, you'll put my name in, Felicia Cameron. Once you put the SAP name in that you're going to work with, and you're going to hit send a request. When you send a request, the clearinghouse will then email the SAP, letting them know, hey, this particular individual wants to work with you. Then it's up to me as a SAP to go in to accept you. Once I accept you, that will put you in step two check marks. But now it would give me, the SAP, access to the clearinghouse where I can go in on the back end and to update your clearinghouse. Step three. Step three is where we meet. I offer in-person as well as video session using Zoom if you're not able to come into the office. I'm located in Mississippi. So during that meeting, that's when I sit down with you, and I'm going to ask more detailed questions about what was the violation. I will be asking questions about any alcohol and drug history, past or current, and doing assessment tools. What I'm trying to see is the person in front of me, do you have a serious problem with alcohol, such as chronic or not, alcohol and drugs or not? If the person has a serious problem dealing with alcohol and drugs, then I recommend a treatment program. If this individual does not have a serious problem with alcohol and drugs, then I recommend an education program. After that meeting, you will go work on those recommendations, education or treatment. Then you come back to me for step four. Step four is the follow-up meeting. During that meeting, I'm getting a copy of your certificate of completion, whether it was a treatment program or education program. I'm also doing an assessment asking you about additional information about what you learned during the education or treatment. In addition, as a SAP, I encourage the people that work with me to do a drug test, a practice drug test. So after that fourth meeting, talk, follow up, get your certificate, get the results of your your practice drug test. If everything is okay, then I will update step four. Step five is the return to duty process. If that's when you're applying for new jobs, you're gonna they might call it pre-employment test, but it's actually gonna be a return to duty test, or you're returning back to your current employee. They're gonna send you to do an official DOT drug test. That is step five, the return to duty. Once you pass that test, that take you out of the red in the clearinghouse and put you in the green, saying you're no longer prohibited. Now, at this step right now, if you was a person that your license got downgraded, this will be the time after you get that check mark on file that you get those license reinstated. So that means you need to contact the DMV office if you probably received an email or a letter, but you need to contact them to find out further instruction if your license was downgraded, what you need to do. Or sometimes the DMV, they might have a reinstatement fee. So you will check with them if that license got downgraded. But if the license didn't get downgraded, the next step is step six. Step six is while you're working for that particular company that hired you, you will be doing your follow-up testing in step six. So you will have certain number of tests that you'll have to do, and that's determined by your SAP, who will get that information to the employer to let them know how many follow-up tests that you have to do in step six. So I hope this information was very helpful. Oh, let me also answer this question. Common question people ask me, how long does this process take? So to get to step 1 through 4, again, I have to do a full assessment to kind of give you an idea. So if a person has a serious or chronic issues with alcohol and drugs, that process can be over 30 days because it depends on if you need to be in a treatment program and how long you need to be in that treatment program, okay? If the person does not have a chronic or serious problem with alcohol and drugs, on average is less than 30 days. It could be a lot shorter, but to get a more definite answer, I would need to sit down and do your assessment to kind of narrow that down. And then the main question people asked me was, how much do you charge? It depends with cost. It depends if it's the first violation, second or third, because if this is a second or third, the cost is more. So I would encourage you to give me a call at the office, because throughout the year, I run specials throughout the year. So give me a call with SAP Evaluation of Mississippi at 601-317-5997. Thank you.